Welcome back to Seeking Peace Newsline. I'm Tiffany Gerdine, author of Seeking Peace, Biblical Solutions to the Israeli and Palestinian Conflict. In our last episode, Malik asked a tough question. Have we already forgotten about the Minneapolis mass shooting? And today, I want to take that question one step further, because maybe it's not just about forgetting. Maybe it's about something even more dangerous. Are we growing numb? Dr. Cela Bryant is with me again to help us unpack this. Dr. Bryant, thank you for joining me.
Always a privilege, Tiffany. And I agree. This is a crucial question for the times we're living in.
Every week, it seems like there's another tragedy, another shooting, another headline about war or injustice. And after a while, it starts to feel normal. Something we expect instead of something that shocks us. Dr. Bryant, from your perspective as a theologian, do you think we're becoming numb?
Yes, Tiffany, I do. Psychologists call it compassion fatigue. It's when our hearts and minds get overloaded by so much suffering that we stop reacting. But biblically, this is nothing new. Pharaoh hardened his heart even as plague after plague devastated Egypt. Israel ignored the cries of their own prophets. And Jesus wept over Jerusalem because the people could no longer feel the weight of their rebellion and suffering. So numbness, whether cultural or personal, is a very real spiritual danger.
And the scary thing is, it creeps in quietly, one headline at a time, one tragedy at a time, until we hardly notice we've stopped caring. So if numbness sets in, what's the cost? What happens to us spiritually?
Well, Scripture warns of a conscience that can be seared as with a hot iron. That's from 1 Timothy 4:2. It means we lose sensitivity to sin, to pain, to the things that should break our hearts. And here's the danger. Once violence feels normal, injustice can thrive. Once grief feels ordinary, compassion dies. But God doesn't want us to live with stone hearts. In Ezekiel 36:26, he says, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. Numbness isn't just emotional, it's spiritual, and it takes the Spirit of God to restore tenderness.
That's such a sobering reminder. Because when we stop feeling, we stop loving. And when we stop loving, peace becomes impossible. So the question is, how do we resist this? How do we keep our hearts from going hard when tragedy feels endless?
One of the most powerful tools we have is lament. The Psalms of Lament show us it's okay to cry out, to grieve deeply, even to ask God, why? That honesty keeps our hearts alive. Second, we need to pray with specificity, not just Lord bless the hurting, but naming victims, families, and communities when we can. That keeps suffering personal, not abstract. Third, we need practices of remembrance. Light a candle, attend a vigil, mark anniversaries of tragedies. Memory keeps compassion alive. And finally, cultivate what I call holy attentiveness. Refuse to scroll past suffering. Pause. Pray. Feel it, even if it hurts.
Holy attentiveness. I love that. Because numbness isn't defeated by forcing ourselves to feel. It's defeated by choosing to stay connected, choosing to see, choosing not to turn away. Dr. Bryant, if you could leave our viewers with one challenge on this topic, what would it be?
It would be this. Don't call violence normal. Every time you hear of a shooting or a war, refuse to shrug it off. Say to yourself, this is not the world as God intended. And then ask God to give you his heart of compassion. Jesus, every time he saw the crowds, was moved with compassion. That's the model we need.
That's so powerful. because numbness may feel like survival, but it's not peace. Peace requires us to stay tender-hearted, even when it hurts. Friends, if you feel your heart growing numb, you're not alone, but you don't have to stay there. Ask God for a new heart. Practice holy attentiveness. And don't let this culture of violence dull your compassion. That's the only way peace, real peace, has a chance to break through. Dr. Bryant, thank you for this conversation. And thank you for watching Seeking Peace Newsline. If you haven't yet, you can find my book, Seeking Peace, on Amazon. The link is in the description. Until next time, stay awake, stay tender, and keep seeking peace.